lot, because I think this map has a lot of potential. Um, so, crazily enough, Bast going for a two-base orbiter build. Two-base orbiter, very quickly. And two-base orbiter, two gas only, will absolutely not allow you to have enough gas to get your attack units up as much as you want to with arbiters. Loading up the shuttle right now with a couple of zealots might be preemptive just to bump the incoming push of Flash, which is coming right now, and Flash is going for this quite early push, going for the hard push because there are a couple of SFVs accompanying that task force, and you see Bast swallowing because Bast right now thinks this, because he also opts to go for that orbit attack, that um, this will absolutely catch him off guard. I'm laying some mines down right there, but that observer's hanging over there, so those mines will do nothing. And indeed, going for that hard push. Hard push being that he builds turrets accompanying his tanks, and this will absolutely nullify that shuttle. This is very crucial because, as I stated before, Bast is going for this transferring tag, and during that time he will not have the proper resources to get the amount of forces he normally wants. Sniping off an SCV very crucially, and Flash only has got 2 SCVs left, and Flash is still not pushing in. I do not know why Flash is just taking it so long. He's absolutely slowly pushing off, and little by little he's choking Bast, but he's giving Bast the time to macro up more. And excuse me again, my throat is a little bit dry. But he's giving Bast the time he needs to get up all of his units, and it might be that Flash has not actually scouted the orbit attack. But still, Bast is absolutely not in a good position. What if Flash expands right now? Which he will have the opportunity for, because he just chokes Bast, but Bast also blocking off his own passageway out of that natural expansion. So he's only one choke, which leads to into his space, and he can't ferry any kind of troops out. He still has that little task force of dragoons hanging over there, and that task force is very crucial. It will enable Bast to just flank and go for the right moment to flank the forces of Flash. And it's also one of the things why Flash has not gone in yet, because he knows he's very, very vulnerable for that flanking position. And this is very smartly played by Bast. As a Protoss, you want to have your troops in the map and not only in your base, because when the Terran pushes out, you will be choked into one point. But Flash is already knocking on the base of Bast, and if Bast doesn't do anything very soon, dropping some zealots on those Marines, but those Marines are expandable by a large margin. And finally, the first Arbiter is coming out, and we haven't seen the Korean commentators show a scan already, but there go with the first scan. So Flash actually has a scan, and again scanning, and the zealots are streaming out, and actually they might be able to breach all of the defenses of Flash, and Flash being caught out of guard because he had his vultures out of position. This is absolutely disastrous for Flash because all of his tanks, all of his metal are being destroyed, and Flash made an absolute mistake there. I don't know what went wrong there, because he actually managed to scan, but I think that his vultures were in the wrong position at the wrong time, and Flash having all of his units destroyed, and Bast having the time to tack to that arbiter, having his first arbiter out, and Flash, in my opinion, might have opted for that other expansion, and this is looking very bleak for Flash. To be honest, normally in the old times, when Flash pushed, it was game. It was absolute game for the other opponent. And I don't know if Flash has lost his touch, or if the maps do not favor Flash's style anymore, or if the opponents basically managed to figure out how Flash, his pushes are working and how to counter it. And Flash desperately tries to kill off the refineries, but Bast just mopping up the vultures. But because Flash does not lose his forces that easily and lightly, that it just happens. It just happens, and as a Terran, especially if you go for this incredibly early push, you do not want to lose your forces like that. Absolutely. And Flash desperately again trying to get his container, but as you see, so many tanks are being destroyed, and he only got one tanks, and voltages against dragoons will be absolutely eaten by those dragoons, and the arbiter's actually moving out. And Bast might go for this recall, because this is one thing though that Bast is absolutely famous for. It is his recalls. I've said he wasn't good in certain things, but recalls is absolutely one trademark of Bast, and Flash has actually spotted this. But will those vultures be in time to lay down mines inside of the base of himself? And again, that arbiter of death looming over Flash base and going for that recall inside of the SUV minerals. So much dragoons inside of the base of Flash, and Flash can absolutely do nothing against this. And this is absolutely looking bleak for Flash. Having a couple of vultures and one tank out, but I think that Bast will be. I think Bast has done so much economic damage, has taken so much SUVs out of Flash, and Flash still having those lone two tanks out of the base of Bast, but they will be wiped out very shortly because there's other Rigroons who have been out of the Bast's base for a long time now, just will mop up those tanks, as we see right now. And Bast already expanding on the 9 o'clock position, and both the bases will be mined out. Both the mains of both players will be mined very shortly. You can see it on his face. Flash is very absolutely not happy with this. And Flash, what has happened to you, mate? Have you gone into puberty? Have you found your girlfriend? Is your girl absolutely messing with your mind? Because this is not the Flash we know. This is not the Flash we love. And right now, Flash, you have to get back. You have to get back to your own self again. He has been doing great in the. Did Best just lose an arbiter? But I think Best just lost an arbiter. Very, very, very sloppy of Best. Best losing an arbiter to the turret, and Flash is. Oh, Flash, yes. The Terminator normally never shows emotion, but he shows emotions right now, and this is not the Flash we know. Flash doesn't show any emotions. Flash, as Scholar calls in the Terminator, the biomech, the only facial things we see from Flash is a twitch, and right now we just see him being absolutely angry. And I don't know. Maybe someone has a theory why Flash is not doing as well lately as he should have done. Because he's still young. He's still very young. He began his pro gaming career successfully at the age of 14 years old. 14 years old, and he destroyed great players during that time, seasoned players. And Flash right now, I think he's 17, so it might be a hormones getting away with his pro game skill. Okay, so enough about that. Best again moving out with his dragoons. Another arbiter coming in for a crazy recall on the main base of Flash, and Flash, if that second recall hits the base of Flash again, I do not know if he can recover, because Flash desperately tried to push all of his forces out of his base, gaining territory again. Having a lot of mines out there, but this observer can't spot all of the mines. And will he recall? He recalls inside of the tank line of Flash, and we normally never see this, and we see why this absolutely almost never happens. He actually does destroy all of the tanks of Flash, but losing all of his forces instantly. But I think this is a good trade-off for Bast, because their tanks are crucial. The tanks are the spine of the metal push of Terrans. If you do not have any tanks backing up your vultures will be just eaten by all of those grunts. And Flash is desperately trying something, but this is absolutely not going to work. And Flash GG's. Flash is being beaten by Bast. And I cannot say that Bast played a fabulous game. Bast managed to delay Flash's push, very crucially, getting that little Dragoon force out in time before Flash managed to put up the contain. But Flash either hesitated, gave Best way too much time during that arbiter tag, and I think Flash didn't notice. Flash didn't know that Best went for that arbiter tag. If he knew, then he would have gotten out on time. And Flash absolutely disappointed here. And we do not know what happened to you, Flash, but we want you back. We want you back in tip-top form, destroying everyone left and right. We do not want to see any emotions on you, Flash. We want to see you win. Okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed this commentary, and I will be seeing you in the next OSL match. Flux out.